This is your newsroom midday brief for Wednesday, August 13, 2025. Here's what's happening. The Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, is giving voters a head start ahead of Election Day with a brand new online search tool that takes the guesswork out of finding your polling station. No more scrambling on the morning of the vote or relying on second-hand information. This feature is right at your fingertips on GECOM's official website. It's simple. Just type in your national ID card number and click Search by ID. Or, if you prefer, enter your name and date of birth and use the Search by Particulars option. Within seconds, you'll see exactly where you're listed to vote. GECOM is urging everyone to check now rather than later so they're not caught off guard on polling day. If you don't have internet access, no problem. You can call their hotlines at 225-0277 to 9 or 223-9650 and get the same information. The Commission says this is all about making the voting experience smoother and ensuring every elector knows exactly where to go to cast their ballot. And while GECOM is busy preparing voters, the Education Ministry is gearing up for a big announcement of its own. Results Day for two of the most important exams in the region. Education Minister Priya Manikchand has confirmed that the Caribbean Examinations Council will be releasing results for the CAPE and CSEC exams this Friday, August 15. The minister says she's keeping her fingers crossed for improved performance this year, especially in mathematics, which was a trouble spot across the Caribbean last year. But Guyana may have an edge before CXC even announced its regional program to boost maths results. The country had already rolled out its own plan. Students sitting the exams were given scientific calculators, graph books, past papers, and extra in-class monitoring to help them prepare. Manikchand says she's optimistic those investments will pay off when the results are revealed, adding that everyone from teachers to students has worked hard to raise the bar.
So we're here in Warramuri, in the Maruca River in Region 1, because today His Excellency is commissioning the brand new Warramuri Secondary School, one of 5 secondary schools that are currently being built. But we are also going to be building a secondary school beginning shortly at St. Nicholas in Manawaran, which means that in Region 1 alone, there will be 6 new secondary schools with the aim of bringing in universal secondary education. Universal means everybody across Region 1 will get secondary education. So we built back the Northwest Secondary. We're building one at Hosororo, one at Quibana, one at Matthews Ridge, this one at Warramuri, and there will be one built at St. Nicholas in Manawaran. But I'm actually here to tell you that we are going to be announcing the CXC results on Friday, the 15th of August. That's Friday coming. And my fingers are crossed that we've done better. Guyana, the entire Caribbean did very poorly last year, in mathematics particularly. And CXC is going to implement some new programs starting 2026. But Guyana didn't wait on that. We implemented a new intervention where we gave to all our children scientific calculators, graph books, all the textbooks, past papers organized by topics, geometry sets, all that they needed, including monitoring in the classrooms to make sure the syllabus was finishing and teaching was happening effectively and learning was actually happening. And so we're really looking forward to those results. So we believe we'll see better math results. So on the 15th at 2 o'clock, sign in so you can see the Guyana results, the results for our Guyanese students at this year's CSEC and CAPE exams. And I'm looking forward to that.
Meanwhile, election season tensions are mounting over revelations of frequent visits by Win presidential candidate Azrudin Muhammad and his father Nazar Mohamed to the Venezuelan Embassy in Georgetown. Vice President Jagdeo raised the issue Tuesday night. UTOD summoned Venezuela's ambassador to explain the visits.
UTOD, our foreign minister, spoke about the Mohameds going to the Venezuelan embassy frequently. Now you recall about 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, some US congressmen tweeted and issued statements that Mohamed is linked to Maduro who is the president of Venezuela, and he puts Guyana's territorial integrity at risk, and they denied it. Well, now there is evidence of him actually going to the Venezuelan Embassy, and the Venezuelan ambassador, when summoned by Minister Todd, he said, oh, they'll just apply for a visa. It may be much more than application for a visa. It's a more deep-seated connection. We have to explore that link. They put our country at risk. And therefore, in these elections, we have to be very careful, because people, APNU, AFC, cannot go back to any communities. Nobody believes them and the other parties.
Attorney General Nandlall is also weighing in, suggesting the visits and reported attempts to obtain visas to travel to Caracas are part of a troubling chain of events linking the Mohameds to Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro regime. Nandlall said such links, already flagged by U.S. officials, now intersect with Guyana's financial system, given the Mohameds' roles in gold and cambio sectors and the U.S. sanctions against them.
And then today, you have another link in the chain being established. That the Minister of Foreign Affairs had cause to engage the Venezuelan ambassador because Mr. Azrudin Muhammad is seen making frequent visits to the embassy. And there seemed to be a confirmation that a visa application has been made to travel to Venezuela. This is a guy who doesn't travel to any country, and suddenly he wants to travel to Venezuela. These are the links. In law, there is something called circumstantial evidence. These are links. You connect them. You are the citizens of this country.
And relief is on the way for children in several Region 1 communities who have long had to travel far, often by boat, to attend school. A new primary school is set to be built in Huridiah, providing a safe, modern learning environment for over 200 pupils from the area and other communities. Education Minister Priya Manichan says construction will begin in October and will include multiple classrooms and key amenities to ensure consistent, high-quality education.
You want to try? Try. You try now. Communities will come together to decide what name they will give to the school, but those are the communities that will be going to this school. It's a brand new primary school. So this is a project that we had discussed with the community before. The IDB was supposed to do it, but the processes with some of the IFIs take really long, and we couldn't wait any longer. So the government's local funds will be doing this. The government is overtaking this project, and that's because the Santa Rosa Primary School is overcrowded, and parents and students and learners have asked for this school. We were very kindly gifted this land by Auntie Camille, who is here, so you'll talk to her just now also. And I was explaining to her that she's gifted not only these 5 communities, but Guyana, an invaluable gift.
And they were looking at spot, and nobody seems to be willing to give up. So I went home, I spoke to my dad. I said, Dad, but we have a very big place at Sheba. Why don't we give a part?
I came and I met the problem of overcrowding at the Santa Rosa Primary School, and I also heard about this annex, and it was always my wish that it gets started. Today happens that the sod was turned, and it is very, 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 very what I'm very much happy to be part of it, and more so to know that work will be started in the next couple of months. I'm so much pleased about this, because up to last week when I met with the senior staff, we were talking about space, and that's definitely something big across there. We so much packed up there, and this would bring a big relief.
And finally, in international news, Guyana has been added to the United Kingdom's controversial Deport Now, Appeal Later list. This means that foreign nationals convicted of crimes in the United Kingdom can now be removed from the country before their appeals are heard. The UK government says the policy is designed to reduce overcrowding in prisons and improve public safety. However, critics warn that the move could face pushback from countries affected by the fast-track removals, including Guyana. Authorities and legal experts say this is a development worth watching closely, as it may have implications for Guyanese nationals living in the United Kingdom.
Guyana added to UK Deport Now, Appeal Later list. Guyanese allegedly involved in criminal activities in the UK could now be deported before their appeals are heard. The UK Home Office has added Guyana to its Deport Now, Appeal Later scheme alongside 14 countries, aiming to fast-track removals and prevent offenders from exploiting the immigration system. Those affected will return home and join appeal hearings by video link. The policy targets foreign nationals convicted in England and Wales, where prisons are nearing full capacity. The UK government says it's about public safety and saving taxpayer money. Critics warn some countries may resist taking people back.
And that's our news brief for this midday. Continue to follow us for more briefings and more developing stories throughout the day.